properly. this time in the a little squirrely going on the braking. Looks like there's an opportunity right there for Efren Castro to make a move. Not sure if he was able to make that happen. As we see, a long line of cars are starting to get thinned out. These guys are calming down a little bit right now within reason. And as Brittany would tell me, Sean, relax, there's a lot of racing yet to come.
Sean, I always tell you that. Yes, I do. Relax, we don't know what's going to happen.
Even when we're not calling races.
That is correct.
As we are going through this very fast section, this is 35 minutes plus 1 lap is what we are scheduled for, and that's what we're going to do. 31 minutes, 37 seconds left to go as they come out of 5, up the hill under the Corvette Bridge into turn 6. Another sharp left-hand turn as we hop on board right now with our Black Sheep Racing competitor right here of Laura Eli. Always exciting on board with Laura right here. She can drive the wheels off that car. Multi-time podium finisher in their USA West Series. Laura Eli is someone you do not want to mess with on the track. She is a very fierce competitor. Her teammate Kenton King in the 777, we were talking about him earlier. He is out due to an incident earlier on this weekend. But Laura Eli all the way on her shoulders for the Black Sheep Racing team. As she's the pack out of the carousel, through the kink, everyone nice and clean through that section. Waiting to get there we go, a nice shot right there as we hop on board, going down through Kettle Bottom and into Canadian Corner. Meanwhile, our leaders already around 14 and on to the next lap as they come across the start-finish line. We are spread out from the start-finish line all the way down to Canada Corners almost. So the pack is starting to spread out. Grant Talkie, Sebastian Carrazzo. I've been wanting to see this race all year long. Those two on top of each other, 1 and 2 and 992s. Third place 992 is Alan Metney. Alan Metney has Jimmy Gibre in between he and Sebastian Carrazzo. Jimmy Gibre leading in the 991 class. And it looks like we had an incident in turn 7 is under review from earlier on. Right now, you see them coming out of turn 3. Single file through this very fast section. This is an area that I've always enjoyed on this course here. There's a lot of passing. Here we are on board coming out of turn 3 with Laura Eli, Black Sheep Racing Team. Through this fast section underneath the Sargento Bridge. She's absolutely standing on the loud pedal. It's 6th gear right now, wide open. Now we're going to come down and see some serious downshifting as we get into turn number 5. All the way down into 3rd gear. Heavy on the brakes, rolling back on the throttle again. Laura Eli immediately wide open. Heavy on the brakes. Coasting through this section right here. You see this green bar in the middle there. That showed you she was completely wide open. Coast a little bit, going in through this section right here, round 7. Should be coming into 8 momentarily. Tricky section, catches up to traffic real quick. Easy on the pedals, driving like she has eggshells underneath the pedals. Nice, calm, cool, collected, and smooth around the carousel for Laura Eli. That's 9, going into 10. 10 coming around, gonna bring her into the kink. As we lose the feed from Laura Eli. Now she's back up and going, around through the kink. Just feathers the throttle a little bit, back to wide open again. That's how Laura Eli likes it. Just flying in the air. Down through Kettle Bottoms. Bring us into Canada Quarter. Turn 12. Meanwhile, our leaders out in front all the way around 14. Down the front stretch and into turn 1. Grant Talkie, Sebastian Carrazzo. Looks like there is a nice move right there by Alan Metney on the 89 as well. I'm sorry, maybe that 89. Alan Metney or possibly the 84 of Marco. Marco out of Canada. Not having a lot of seat time recently due to this worldwide pandemic that we all went through together. As everything is coming back around again, he was not able to get out of Canada, didn't get the seat time he wanted, said earlier that he's having a little bit of trouble getting up to the speed that he wants to be at, as he has been a longtime Porsche competitor and been a fierce competitor for a long time and working very hard to get back up to speed, Brittany. As you see all of us off in the distance. Now coming out of 7, going into 8 to the left of your screen. Coming down through this section right there, that is what they call Harry Downs. Brittany through that section of 7 and into 8, entering sector number 2. Bringing us into 9, 10. Sector number 2 will last all the way over to Canada Corners. Around a carousel. Nice look, shooting down into the kink section.
The incident between the 4 and the 33 on lap 1 has been reviewed, no action.
All right, so we're hearing a couple different competitors here coming from race control. Race control. It was the 243. I didn't catch the whole deal right there. 243. I didn't catch the whole deal right there. 233 of McIntosh. Might have been the 233 of McIntosh. And there's he coming out of Canada Corner, out of into 13. Canada Corner. Looking at lap times right now. Best lap at lap times right now. 08 for our leader with a 2. Oh, let me correct that. For our leader with a 2. Grant Talking Carrazzo just dropped about a second off the lap time. Talking Carrazzo just dropped about a second off the lap time. For Talking Sebastian Carrazzo 9.25 for Talking Sebastian Carrazzo P2 with a 212. So a little bit faster than our leader.
Wow.
So a little bit faster than our leader. He has moved up to P3. We have a three-way battle. He has moved up to P3. We have a three-way battle for the 992s. There's a nice shot right there of Chris Balamo. Behind him, nice shot right there behind Chris Balamo. It is behind him. Castro. We've seen this battle going on all year long. Very, very impressive from both of those drivers, Balamo and Castro. Very, very competitive throughout the season, and they are right on top of one another right now as you can throw a blanket over both those cars. As you see him now heading up the hill out of 5 into 6 underneath the Corvette Bridge. So right now, if we go back by class, in 4th overall, but first by class is Jimmy Llibre. He has 3 cars behind him that are 992s. He's got a bit of a buffer right there. Second place is Michael Levitas in the 991 class. 8th overall, Scott. The Cinderella story is the Danis, and the 99 is in P3 in the 991 class. Great run for him. Anthony McIntosh right behind him in 4th. Paul Nemshoff, a name we've been talking about all year long. Paul is in 5th in the 992s, 11th overall. And there is that race right there we saw just for a minute in between Castro and Balamo. Now we see a big group of cars, 2 wide, coming down into Canada Corners. Oh, that was Castro as we were talking about it. You saw the corner worker threw out the caution flag just because he thought, oh boy, we're going to have a problem. Pull that flag in real quick.
Turn 12. The cars in the runoff looking to continue.
It does look like
on turn 12,
yeah,
Sean.
in the runoff right there. I think, I could be wrong, Brittany. It might have been Efren Castro.
Car 68 in turn 12.
Car 68.
Oh, Chris Balamo in the 68, Brittany. So Balamo kind of got a little, I don't know, how would you say, a little scooch out the way by Efren Castro.
Did.
Efren Castro was behind Balamo, stuck the front end in there, got into Balamo a little bit, got a little squirrely himself. So as you can hear, 68 of Chris Balamo is continuing on, but his efforts to win in this class are probably over and done with, as there's a nice shot right there of the 402 as well of Charles Bray.
Incident between the 65 and the 68 is under review.
So that being under review. Oh! We got one squirrely in 2. It was not the WeatherTech entry, but the car right in front of him. We'll see if we can get a number on that in a minute, but he did collect himself. I thought for sure, Brittany, we were going to have a bit of an incident right there coming over that rolling hill out of 1 into 2. Kind of a blind hill coming down over into 2 into 3 right there. Now you can see us coming out of 4 down into 5, this very fast section right there. The pack spreading out a little bit, but Brittany, as you said, a lot of great racing all the way through the pack, and that's continuing on today.
Oh, incredible. I foresee a good, clean race, Sean. I think all these guys are out here they're out here to win, obviously, but they are great sportsmanship. They have great sportsmanship, and they're going to make sure they show it out there.
Well, the thing is, too, and I'm speculating a little bit because you know how I do this sometimes, but, with these guys out here and the 992s and then the 991s, not always, but oftentimes they've had a little more track time, a little more time racing.
Yes.
Some of the competitors in the Cayman class. So you would expect, due to that, for them to not, I would say maybe race a little smarter at times. Now, once again, I know, I get it, I've been there. Once you put the helmet on, a lot of that stuff goes out the window. But without a doubt, I would often think that these guys, you would see a little bit smarter racing at times. And most of these drivers, not all, but are a little bit older in age. We don't have too many of our 16, 17
That's true.
in here, and they've got a lot more track experiences. There's Efren Castro right there. Happy that he got by Belamo. Both of them could have gone off track there, but he was able to save himself. But that is under review. Speaking of who's not under review, is the 99 right there. Scott Zadanis looking good. Got a car diving to the inside. That is the 37 trying to get in right there and make a move. Not able to make it stick. That is David Williams. David Williams in P5 in our 992 class of the 37. He has Efren Castro in his sights right now. Paul Nemshoff, when it came across the start-finish line, was in between the two. Williams able to make the move around Paul Nemshoff, or maybe Nemshoff let him get by, being in a 991, which is, the gentlemanly thing to do. As we continue moving forward, 20 minutes and 20-something seconds left to go in this last and final Porsche race of the day here from beautiful Road America here in Wisconsin. Those of you just joining in right now at home watching, this is Porsche Sprint Challenge North America and USA West together, brought to you by Yokohama Tires. This is Brittany Kroll. I'm Sean Cermony, and we have got some great racing continuing on. Earlier today, our Cayman class gave us an amazing show.
It really did, Sean. For
yes.
First place,
wow,
we were hanging onto our seats.
We were. And then we are nothing shy of that now in our Cup Series with our 991s and 992s. Still out in front, it is Grant Talkie. Fast lap for him so far is a 2:12.754. So he has improved from earlier on. And Brittany, what I would like to bring up, talking earlier on about the Yokohamas, these tires here, the new Yokohama tires, the rears for these 992s, it's different, and they come in as the car, as the tire gets out of the track, the race goes on. I'm expecting to see lap times continue to improve right to the end of this race.
I agree. So the new tires are made to be, construction-wise and structure-wise, they're made to be more consistent, and there's less peak time, Sean.
Absolutely, and that's key for this. And we're going to see here, and as all these drivers that are just highly competitive, I'm expecting lap times in that class to continue to get better and better and better, especially with our more talented drivers like our Talkies, our Carrazos, our Metneys. But those guys, they're just heavy on the gas right down to the end. There's a nice shot right there of Capro doing everything he can to move up. We have a competitor trying to make a move to the inside of him right there. Didn't catch the car number on it as he goes to the inside underneath the Sargento Bridge on turn number 4. Where we're going to see that action is coming down into 5. 2 wide going into 5. Do they get through clean? They do right through that section there. Out of 5 and going up into 6. As the pack is spreading out quite a bit right now, we have cars spread all the way from the kink all the way back down to turn number 2. with our leader being Grant Talkie in the 981. Out in front, looking quite comfortable right now, but the pressure is on from Sebastian Carrazzo. As you see now, way to the inside line right there, coming into 9 and 10. That's what we call the carousel. Oh, we got a car off in an odd
Turn 5,
area.
Turn 5, we've got a car off its driver's left. Looks to be car 10.
And it's looking like as well in turn 5,
0-0
we had a car off as well.
3 has also continued.
And that was Frank Vitello. Frank Vitello off in 5 with another car going off on the late entrance or exit of turn 3. So 2 cars within just a couple of turns off, all of them able to continue on under their own power. And speaking of power, putting the power to the ground, and Scott Zadanis doing everything he can to hold off another competitor right there as they come up this long, fast front stretch.
Is this going to be another Cinderella story, Sean?
It might be. I don't know right now. Scott Zadanis is looking for a glass slipper. Can he hold on to that position? 99 dives back to the inside. He said, no way, Jose. The MGM entry still holding his position. Very defensive driving, smart move by Zadanis. Zadanis always exciting to watch. As we leave behind him is David Williams. Williams, I believe it is, and he is in a 992, and we got another car off coming out of 3.
Turn 3, car 66 is off driver's left.
And there you have it, the 66.
That's going to be Daniel Bloom.
Daniel Bloom out there missed the gravel pit a little bit, I believe, got into the grass, was able to continue on.
And that's out of JDX Racing.
And the JDX competitor being smart about it, staying way to drivers left there, as they were told in the drivers meeting, if you get into the gravel trap at all, or you think you do, stay out of the racing lane for a little bit, shake that car down. And as we're hearing, another one in turn 6, but continuing on. So a lot of cars off these last 2 laps, Brittany, but able to continue on and not bring out any cautions. Right now, we have an opportunity to go green to checkered right here with 15 minutes to change left. All right, moving on as we come down through Kettle Bottoms and into Canada Corner. In turn 12 right there. Now we back it up a little bit, coming through the kink in turn 11. Now we see there we are getting back down into Canada Corner into turn 12. As we see, we are slightly hung up there, the feed. There we go. We're back at it again, coming out of 12 into 13. Our leaders are spread out all around. If we continue on, we are going to very well be getting into lap traffic. 14 minutes and change left to go. We have our leaders pulling away from the rest of the pack quite a bit. We are spread out right now.
Sean, but like we said, anything could happen.
Anything can happen, Brittany. Without a doubt, we drag race down the front stretch. Going into turn number 1, we're too wide. Going into 1, can they make it happen? Drivers down to the inside, going over that blind turn into 2, down into 3. 40 cars is a lot of cars out here on this track, Brittany Kroll, I tell you what. But right now, it looks like Laura Eli, she is moving up a little bit through the pack. Not the performance that she wants to have, sitting in 15th overall. Much better than that by class, but not what she wants so far here at Road America. One of the more challenging courses that we have in this series for both USA West and Sprint Challenge North America, as we're just over 4 miles left, 14 turns, some great elevation changes, and it is definitely a very challenging track to say the least.
That's right. And Sean, you know Road America is Kelly Moss's home track too, because they're based in Wisconsin.
It is. And we're going to touch on that in a minute as we hop on board here with Laura Eli right now. You can see her, as I mentioned earlier, wide open. That's the way she likes it, standing on that loud pedal. Coming down through this section, diving in to turn 8, heading into Speedville. Makes a bit of a mistake, gets a little bit wide there. Competitor able to sneak by her right there. Laura Eli as I think it might have been Mosley Ureski may have gotten by her right there. And we see Efren Castro as well. He had some trouble. He has dropped back.
Car 14, drive-through penalty. Car 14, drive-through.
And so we got a car, I believe car 15, with a drive-through penalty as well. So a lot of cars on and off the track. A little bit of paint being swapped here and there. All in all, we have been caution-free. As we see Scott Zadanis there one more time. He has been doing more than just holding his own, driving very aggressively and doing it well. As we are still P1, Grant Talkie, Sebastian Carrazzo, Alan Metney. That's your top three in your 992s. Jimmy Llibre, Michael Levitas, Scott Zadanis. That's your top three in the 991s. But I will say out of all that, as Brittany was saying, Kelly Moss Road and Race being their home track right here, being from not far down the road here in Wisconsin, does it give them an advantage? Some would say yes, some would say no, but right now, I think it's fair game with all the race teams, Brittany.
Right, that's what I was going to add to that, Sean. Since it's their home track, they have 7 entries this weekend, and they have the owners here, so they have the owners, and you know how involved they are with their team. They are out there coaching all of their racers and making sure they are on top of their game, and I could see them doing very well in this race.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. You could never count out Kelly Moss Road and Race. What a great team they are. Competitive no matter where we are throughout the United States. As we continue on right here, coming down out of turn 3. We only have 11 minutes and change left to go in this 35 plus 1. There's Chris Belamo. Belamo got the Belamo earlier on, got pushed off track. Now he is back up and running, doing everything he can to move up through the pack. We saw that earlier down in Canada Corner. Belamo having a little bit of an issue with Caffro. And now we see this long stretch right here. Hopefully we can get another shot. There we go. Cars now coming into this shot, in and out. Belamo with a great race right there. Chris earlier on was one of our top front runners, having a little bit of trouble with Caffro in turn 12 and able to continue on. Meanwhile, out in front, the Mean Green Machine of Grant Talkie. Sebastian Carrazzo in tow right behind him. I've been wanting to see this battle all year long. Now we're starting to see it unfold. What I'm curious about is, we know a couple facts, Brittany. One, Grant Talkie's a champion, right?
Yes.
And he is determined to win every time he gets in the car, no matter if it was last year in what we would call the gold class, or this year in the 992s,
yes,
or racing in Carrera Cup. He's here to win. Then you got Sebastian Carrazzo. Same style. And he's moving up in other series as well. Now we see him together. This is the first time since Sebring, though, that we've had Grant Talkie here with us in this series. Does Carrazzo have something extra in his bag of tricks?
Right, but my question is too, Sean, how long did Carrazzo know that Grant Talkie was going to be out here? Did he even know that Grant Talkie was going to be out here racing? Did he have time to prepare for that?
I would think that when you show up, not only do you don't care who's there, but if you did, you want the best. If you're going to win, you're going to win races.
You want to beat the best.
So, yeah, I think no matter what, you just you want to race against the best. You want to win against the best. And as we were talking earlier, as we were just here, and Brittany and I were just being told, Pedro Torres in the 14, he's getting a drive-through penalty from an incident that we saw early on. So Pedro Torres not going to be excited about that, but that's the name of the game. Sometimes you get caught, sometimes you don't. And this time, Pedro Torres is getting a drive-through penalty. But right now, we're seeing some great battles as continuing on here. Chris Belamo was able to get around. That is Shane Leathers right there in the 575 starting to pull away. Now Belamo's pulling away from Leathers a little bit right there. So he's doing his best to make his way through the pack, but he's got quite a ways to go in order to really make something out of this race after that early on incident in turn number 12 about 5 or 6 laps ago. 8 minutes, 17 seconds left plus 1 lap. As we'll see, you see our leader should be coming down through out of Canada Corner. There we go. Out of Canada Corner into 13. And quite a few laps left to go. And we're looking at lap times right now. Last lap for our leader was a 2:14.40. Carrazzo in P2 with a 2:14.52. And the best laps, they're both at 2:12. So a little slower right there. But what we want to talk about is, as far as drivers doing USA West, Belamo is one of them. Laura Eli is one of them. Stephen Ayers is one of them. Paul Nemshoff. But looking at for USA West, right now our top competitors right now, I believe, is Paul Nemshoff for the USA West in the 991 class. Laura Eli being behind him in the 991 in P2 as far as USA West goes. Keep in mind, folks, two different classes of cars, the 991s and 992s, and two different series, all out there intertwining with one another. And so the USA West and North America together here. So a lot, I should say there's more than what meets the eye. That's what I can say right here. And so, as we were talking earlier on, you know, the 992 tire that retired, I'm expecting that tire to continue to get better and better. You know, Yokohama's worked very hard on that. But what I'm seeing, some of the lap times, at least for our leaders, get a little bit slower, at least from Talkie, Carrazzo, Metney. But I think that has to do a lot with the racing themselves, you know, with that happening. And then we're back on board here with Laura Eli, one of my favorite parts of the broadcast as we hop on board with her Black Sheep Racing here. Eli, 5th gear, heavy on the brakes right here, coming. And we'll see right there, there is Laura Eli coming around the carousel, getting ready to go into the kink. This part of the course is quite a ways out from our production truck. Losing that feed a little bit, it should come back about, and we get to the kink, and there it is again, and then we switch over to the front stretch. We do know that the number 68, which is Belamo, is leaking some type of fluid as well. That could turn into a bit of a problem as this race continues to roll on. And then we see here John Maskey from USAC Race Control calling out a couple of cars off in turn 12 in Canada Corner. We've been seeing a lot of that in turn 12, Britt.
37 has continued. We're still watching the 233.
Little over 5 minutes, Sean.
A little over 5 minutes left to go, but if this car cannot get, oh, it's rolling right now. That is good news, because that is a dangerous spot right there. We would have been forced to go into a full course caution. We are rolling on. All those cars, both those cars have continued on under their own power. Wonderful job, gentlemen. Every one of these incidents have been able to continue on under their own power. It makes life very easy. We may very well be going green to checkered. And we had a car that spun in 12, possibly having a radiator problem now as well. And there you see. And so that is the 233 that was also caught up in turn 12 as well. And pulling in. So both those cars in that incident now struggling up to get into pit lane. So it is a sad afternoon for those two competitors in the 233 right there. Not the day that they were hoping to have. And that would be Anthony McIntosh starting early on today on that W2W racing team. Those guys put in quite an effort, that team. They're very, very good at what they do. He qualified well, starting up near the front of the pack, and then having that incident in turn 12. It is now, looks like, going to officially be out of the race with only a handful of minutes left to go. 3 minutes, 41 seconds on the clock, plus 1 lap. There is Grant Talkie looking very, very good and comfortable in the 981. And that mean green machine going down over 2 into 3. Behind him, Sebastian Carrazzo. I hate to say it, but I don't think Sebastian today, I'm not saying every day, but right now, today at Road America, has what he needs to not only catch, but get around Grant Talkie as a leader. Tomorrow will be a different day. Very possible, because I know the ability is there, but right now, Grant Talkie just needs to be nice, calm, and smooth. Nobody does that better than him. He handles pressure better than most any other race car driver I've dealt with over all these years of doing this commentary. Grant Talkie just got to be nice and calm, and he's going to bring himself home a checkered flag here with inside 2 minutes plus 1 lap left to go, Brittany.
That's right, Sean. So Grant Talkie, he returned from his first race with us, sweeping the season opener at Sebring, and he came here to win this race, and I think that's what he's about to do.
Absolutely, I would have to agree that we're going to be seeing that happen for me. He just needs a little bit of luck, and right now we're on board with our competitor from our USA West Series, Laura Eli. Woo, Laura chopping at the wheel. Back and forth, you see her shifts into fifth. She's going to go into 6th gear here in just a minute. Into 6 right there, absolutely wide open. And you see she's going to downshift a couple of gears right here. Down into 3rd, into 2nd. Few laps ago, she went downshifted into 3rd gear only, didn't make the downshift all the way to 2nd. That probably has to do with the traffic that's in front of her. Funny thing is, she just made that same mistake a couple laps earlier. We just saw that competitor go off. She learned from that, went a little further inside, and has been getting smarter and smarter about what she's doing here. Laura Eli is someone to always be reckoned with out on the track. She learns every single turn, and she never stops learning and teaching herself how to be faster and faster as you see her continue on moving up the track. And Brittany, I did it again. I jinxed another competitor.
You did.
Grant Talkie.
Wow. I was not expecting this.
And Sebastian Carrazzo, after being a ways back from Talkie's, he's wound up.
Oh,
he
man.
is wound up. He's got the car airborne.
This is what we've been waiting for.
Absolutely it is. I'm curious to see. We didn't get to catch exactly how that pass was made. But I did it again. Every time I talk nicely about a competitor.
And we have under a minute to go, Sean.
It goes backwards. 50 seconds plus a lap left to go. Not sure if we'll get the white flag this time by. I think they're going to get past the start-finish line.
That was incredible. Neither one of us expected that to happen.
Doing the math here, it looks like we are going to get a white flag this time by. Grant Talkie, we went in, we hopped on board with Laura Eli for a little while, watching her doing an amazing job. Come back again, exactly what I didn't think was going to happen. Carrazzo goes from a somewhat distant 2nd place behind Grant Talkie, and all of a sudden, oh, Talkie really, really pushing it right now. The rear end stepping out big time on him, doing everything he can with just a lap and a half or so left to go. Grant Talkie not going to be happy, but this is the race that I've been wanting to see in between these two competitors. Sebastian Carrazzo and Grant Talkie, two of the most talented drivers we've seen since the inception of this wonderful series a year and a half ago. Two of very, very good, never say die type competitors here as they go up into 12, 13, now entering 14. Carrazzo in the lead, he's out of 14. White flag this time by. 1 lap to go as they're wide open up the hill and down the front stretch here at Road America. This is the type of lead that Talkie had over Carrazzo just 2 laps ago. Can we see Talkie take this back again? I'm not going to say, because every time I do, I jinx these poor drivers. So there we are. Out in front still, Sebastian Carrazzo. Very, very impressive. Down underneath the Sargento Bridge. Shift into 6th gear. Very, very fast section right here. Who's going to outbrake who coming into 5? It's the last time they'll see turn 5 today. Diving down in, Carrazzo holding that convincing lead. Grant Talkie a little bit to the inside, but too far back to make a move. Up the hill into 6. Underneath the Corvette Bridge, here they are out of 6 going into 7. Similar lines out of 7 into 8. Carrazzo, Talkie. Looking like Carrazzo pulling a small bit of a lead right there. Lap before Carrazzo gets a little sideways right there. Talkie did it the lap before. Both of them are pushing, giving it everything they got. Around the carousel, getting ready to go into the kink. Who's going to lift? Who's going to stay on the loud pedal through the kink? Imato, down into Kettle Bottom. Down through Kettle Bottoms. Getting ready to go into Canada Corner into turn 12. Diving into 12, only a couple turns left to go for Sebastian Carrazzo. Is he going to hang on to it? Up the hill into 13. A left and a right and a long straight to the checkered flag. There they are, waiting to come out of 13 into 14. It's Sebastian Carrazzo. One turn left to go. Heading up the hill. We're here at Road America, Porsche Sprint Challenge North America, brought to you by Yokohama Tires, and the victory goes to Sebastian Carrazzo. As a checkered flag is out, Grant Talkie in P2. What a race in between the two of them we're looking to see. Are we going to have Alan Metney and P3 over the line? That is your top three. For your 992 class, Carrazzo, Talkie, Metney. Jimmy Llibre takes the win in our 991 class here at Road America. Behind him, wait on Michael Levitas. He makes it across the line. Is the Cinderella story going to hold on to P3? He does. He found that glass slipper. Scott Zedanis is back on the podium. There is your top three for each class in the 992s. Congratulations to Sebastian Carrazzo, Grant Talkie, Alan Metney, your top three. Jimmy Llibre, another victory for him here in 2022 in the 991s. Michael Levitas, Scott Zedanis right behind them. What a great race it was. Road America never fails to give some of the greatest entertainment in motorsports. As you see, we hop on board on this lap here with Laura Eli in the 09. Just cruising in this cool down lap. So all of our competitors, that's 40 cars out there on the track, or entered into the race, I should say, at one time. An awful lot of cars. Not even with 4 miles and a beautifully well-groomed track. That's not a lot of real estate. Laura Eli giving a you out there. What a great run for her as well. As she is always, I love it when we have her at the races. We have the onboard camera. Laura Eli always puts on a show without even knowing. All she's got to do is go out there and do her job and do it as well as she does, and it's always a great show to watch. Very exciting stuff. As we got Brittany Kroll heading down to Victory Lane to get our initial reactions from all of our competitors. As we are ready to head down to the podium here, myself in just a little bit. There is Grant Talkie pulling in as well. Sebastian Carrazzo coming down to the podium. Coming around 14. What a great race from Carrazzo. We didn't get to see exactly in detail how that pass went down for the lead. As there is Carrazzo right there, a young, super talented driver. And overtaking and winning against one of the best in the business, Grant Talkie. I know that's going to put a fire under Grant Talkie for our next round of racing here from Road America being tomorrow. And for those of you watching and listening at home and around the track here, keep in mind, we go into racing tomorrow at 8:35 a.m. is going to be race number 2 for our Cayman class here from Road America. And at 12:05, just after lunchtime, We're going to go into the last and final round of racing for our GT3 Cup Series. That'll be happening tomorrow, being Sunday.
Everyone, all cars are to proceed to pit out. No cars to their box.
So we've
Please,
got our
all cars
competitors
to pit
going
out.
down
Wait for the
to the
instructions
podium.
from pit officials.
And I'm going to make my way down there as well. Congratulations to our top 3 for each class. I'm going to make my way down here to the podium right now as we leave you in the very capable hands of Brittany Crow and our production team.
All
Stay
right,
tuned.
guys,
Don't go
I'm
anywhere.
down here with
Through the pit lane.
Sebastian.
Do not stop.
Woo! Go get it, buddy! Dude, mega, dude! Holy shit!
As he takes his helmet off. PS car 27, Sebastian. That was an incredible race. That last pass, how are you feeling right now?
Feeling great actually. It was a really long race. I was hoping for some yellows, never came.
500, we even get
It all
to
came
0-0,
down on
keep
final
going.
pace and getting through lap traffic.
You pulled through and you made the win.
Yeah, I'm so happy. And a huge thanks for the team. It's been really tough getting the setup right, and we got it just right for today.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I also have our winner, Jimmy Llibre. I know it's not your birthday, but it feels like your birthday today, doesn't it?
Yeah, today was a great race. I only thanks God and my sponsor, my team, MDK Motorsport, that did a really amazing job, and we will keep pushing for tomorrow.
How are you feeling in those last moments?
Sorry?
How are you feeling in those last moments in the car?
Yeah, I feel so good. We need to change a little bit something, but the car feels so good, and I know that we will go pushing more.
Congratulations.